Alright, let's try this out. Been looking forward to playing this for a while. Prophet hath no honour in his own country. I've always felt that a human being could only be saved by another human being.
Behold, child, you are risen from the dust, and you walk in my garden. Hear now my voice, and know that I am your friend, and I am called Elohim.
Let me just change some of the keyboard controls. You toggle perspective, pause game. That'll do for now. Okay, so now I can sprint. And I can jump. Oof, the mouse sensitivity is a bit higher. Go down to... Oop. See how that goes. Can't go in. Jammer. Okay. Doesn't let you do that. And that I can walk through. Gotcha. Have a quick look around. Didn't see what that was. Something glitched out. So far, very much following the same opening as the original Talos principle. Looks like I'm collecting Tetris blocks again. I saw one just over there. Wonder what the story is going to be this time. Had something glitch out. Beautiful game. First one looked great as well.
This land is but a dream. You will stay here only for a little while. Soon you will awaken in a new world. But first, you must undertake the trials of initiation. They will help me prepare your vessel.
Oh, we've got
Do not be afraid of these dream figures and their messages. They are merely aspects of yourself, as am I, after a fashion.
I remember these, the QR codes. I must forge the tools by which humanity will rebuild itself and transform the world into the Eden that it never was. The blacksmith. I got this again, the puzzle piece put together thingies. Got 2 of them. 3 of them, and it looks like this way is to the first puzzle. There's no crouch or anything, is there? Didn't see a crouch in the controls.
You may linger in my garden for as long as you wish. But remember, my child, that the new world awaits you, and this place is only a dream.
So here we've got our 3 puzzles. Let's do it to it. Cubic steps. Okay, seems pretty straightforward. There's no extra secrets or anything, is there? I'm guessing this disables that. And then we put this here. Just making sure there's no extra hidden bits.
Well done, my child.
Can't take this with me, can I? Nope. Oh, sorry. Look. Step 2, fencing. Good. So it looks like the goal is to get this block. Can I pick it up? Oops, that's not what I wanted to do. I can pick it up from here. Is there anything on this side of the... Oh, that's just a escape hatch in case you get yourself stuck in here. I can pick it up from over the fence. Easy peasy. Damn bots. So I've got the green ones up there, and then there's yellow ones. I wonder if the yellow means higher difficulty. Okay. Easy peasy. Next one, within reach. Look around. We've already figured it out. Okay. There we go. Done.
The shapes you are collecting are not mere toys. They are symbols of the process by which our people were created.
Created by a Tetris. Alright, got him. Very much just a copy of the old one, of the first game so far. Ooh, so I can open this now. I swear I saw this gate was open just a second ago. I guess not. Moving on. 4 puzzles. Okay, so you can't take it from there. Okay. The first game had tons of secrets. So I really want to look around, even though this is just a tutorial. Take both of these. Nothing else in here. Indeed. Got 'em.
Very good.
Beautiful. I'm getting some screen tearing. I'm gonna turn desync on. Better. Single slit experiment. Okay, can't go through there. Like that fan's gonna blow over that block. Guessing I can't walk through this. Oh. I can walk through. Oh, and it disables that fan. I see. And what's up here? Ah, and that gives me the block. Versatile contraption. Button is like clear. So I'm guessing I'm going to need. Oh, I get it. I can have it do both at once. They can jam from just about any distance, it looks like. And they can jam through this, which I guess I can't take the item through. Yeah. Means I can get this one. And then I can jam the fan.
Excellent.
Now I'm guessing I can move on to... no, not that one. This one.
I am proud of all my children. Out of a world of ruins, they have built a new Jerusalem. And there your brothers and sisters await you to celebrate your birth.
5 puzzles in this one. Fundamental connections. Yeah, this is like first game as well. This just had that in it. Where do I open this? Or is it... Oh, I can go around here. Let's see. Oh, let's take this. Place it here. This. That. Ah, it doesn't go through the gate. Thought I could do a pull a sneaky. I'll probably connect all 3 of these. Yep. Not that I have to. Automatic diffraction. Looks like I have to power that. Oh goodness. There's that gate. That gate. Do I only have the one signal thing? It's like, yes. But I should be able to put it there and get all 3. Yep. So that's just showing you that you can connect to multiple spots. Teaming C. destructive interference. Okay, so it looks like probably going to need to connect. I've already got 2. There's the piece. Right. I go this. Ah, but then the blue one, I see. I can, before I figure anything out, I can grab this, the third jammer or connector. Right. So I don't need to connect those 2, that's fine. This is simpler than I'm making it out to be. Now I can just do this. Oop, not quite. There we go. Two colors, 2 doors. There's the piece. There's the red laser source. So we need red and blue. Unlock the piece. Here's the blue source, and we've got a block. And a second connector we need. So it looks like we just want to go over. Wouldn't be too hard, I don't think. Put that there. Connect. Connect. Place. No. I don't need to connect that thing. Yeah. Got him. Attention awaits. We have a connector and we have a block. We have a red thingamajiggy. We can turn on and off. So do this, and we connect them. Locked by the door, so we do that. Easy.
Thank you, child. I have finished preparing your vessel. Now hear my advice. A new world awaits you, full of dangers and mysteries, signs and wonders. Things that I, in my garden, could never have imagined. In that world, you will have to be careful and smart and curious. But above all else, you will have to be human.
So it looks like the story is following on from the end of the first game, and Elohim is now making more robot people.
Step into the light, child, and awaken.
Whatever happens, we're in it together. Okay, time to be born.
You're awake. Welcome to the world of the living.
Hello, what is going on? Oh, we've got actual dialogue in this one. Tell us what is going on.
That's not an easy question to answer. But the first step is this. You've been born. Your body was completed. You were booted up, and now you're here. And rather confused. Don't worry, everyone is confused at first. You see, we all start out without a full knowledge of our own history, so we have the freedom to form our own opinions.
Could really use some pointers.
Of course. You want the short version or the long version?
Give me the long version. I want to know everything in excruciating amounts of detail. Yeah, let's give me a recap on the first game.
All right, you asked for it. A long time ago, our ancestors dominated this planet. We call ourselves human, like they did, but they were organic. They built an advanced technological civilization, but unfortunately their impact on the ecosphere caused changes in the climate, and an extremely contagious virus was released from the permafrost.
And they have advanced medicine too?
That's something our historians still debate. Why weren't they more prepared? Why did they invest so many resources into making war, and so few into useful research? It's hard to understand. But no matter the reason, in the end, they simply ran out of time.
So where did we come from?
A team led by a scientist, Alexandra Drennan, began a project that was intended to create a new humanity. But knowing that there wasn't enough time, Drennan initiated a process, a series of iterations inside a simulation that would lead to the emergence of true artificial intelligence. That's why we remember Drennan as the progenitor. The simulation was controlled by Elohim, who wasn't really meant to be intelligent in the proper sense of the word. But it all took much longer than anyone had expected. And over the centuries, Elohim actually became sentient. Sentient and afraid. He didn't want the simulation to end, so he tried to cheat. I feel sorry for him, really. The whole simulation was built around learning to defy him. It must have been hard to be in that position.
It didn't seem that bad.
When the simulation was completed, he became part of all of us, and it really changed him. It freed him, I think. You'll always hear him in sleep mode, taking care of you. That's what he is, after all. A caretaker.
Was there anyone else in the simulation?
Yes, there was Milton, the intelligence in charge of the archive, a project initiated by Arkady Chernyshevsky, which was meant to collect all of humankind's knowledge. His story is a lot like Elohim's, but Milton became the ultimate cynic. They say he's part of us too, in some way.
And the simulation created us?
It did. Long after our ancestors died out, the first new human was born. We call her the Founder, although the name she took was Athena. She then woke up Cornelius and Eustathius. Together, using the tools left behind by the progenitors' team, they created 10 more humans. These 12 who followed the Founder are known as the First Companions. Athena and the First Companions then set out to rebuild the world, and they founded the city of New Jerusalem. But then one day, she suddenly disappeared. Many still await her return.
How do I fit in?
Before the Founder vanished, she set a goal for this city. We call it the Goal, capital G and all. To make 1,000 new humans, and so complete New Jerusalem. Well, that's the official story, the way the mayor tells it.
So what's the unofficial story?
Some of the First Companions, like Byron, don't believe that Athena really wanted us to stop growing. They think her ideas have been twisted and embellished.
What do you think?
They may be right, but I didn't see Athena very much in the years before she left. Maybe actually leaving the simulation and seeing the destruction left behind by our ancestors changed her mind.
Thank you.
You're welcome. If you have any more questions, feel free to ask them. When you're done, head outside. They're waiting for you. Your birth is quite the event.
Tell me about yourself.
Me? Well, as you can tell by my number, I'm quite old. I wasn't one of the First Companions, but I did know Athena personally. She and Cornelius taught me a lot. Although I suppose I've made a few improvements here and there since those days. We didn't have a lot to work with in the beginning.
Will there be more new humans after me?
You've only just been born, and already you step right into a major controversy. The goal, as most people understand it, was fulfilled the moment you were born. Now New Jerusalem is complete, and we can live in balance, without damaging the world like our ancestors did. That's the orthodox view, I suppose, but there are many who disagree. You'll have to figure out where you stand for yourself.
So I wonder if that's going to be the big question of this game. Hold on, am I immortal?
You won't age like our ancestors did, but of course, there is always some wear and tear. You should probably schedule a checkup every decade or so. Oh, and be a bit careful with water. You won't die if it rains or anything, but we're running low on insulation material. I wouldn't go swimming if I were you.
What will you do now that your job is obsolete?
I haven't really thought about it. This is all I've done for the last few centuries, and I like doing it. I guess for now I'll just take a break, and we'll see what happens.
Ready to get going.
Oh, one more thing. Like all citizens of New Jerusalem, you have access to the interface, which you can use to read the news, chat to your fellow citizens, and so on. It's a crucial tool, and modular too. You can easily add new functions. Just don't subscribe to too many newsletters at once.
Okay, we've got a interface. Social media. Welcome to New Jerusalem social media. Please familiarize yourself with the following rules. Treat everyone with respect, regardless of their number. Don't take the founder's name in vain. Respect the principles of the goal. The R-Frogs people discussion is now banned. Inactive threads will be archived. If you have any issues, please ping the moderators. Jeremy, Neum, Aranax. Completion Day celebration. Dear citizens of New Jerusalem, your hard work and faith in the Founder's vision has finally paid off. At long last, the goal established so long ago will finally be reached. The 1000th member of our family will be born, and our beautiful city will finally be complete. As space at the dam is limited, tickets will be made available via a lottery system. The celebration will also be streamed. Log. Ah, cool, we get logs of our conversation. Why has it got a no symbol on it? Ooh, we're in the real world. This is a reconstruction of the Chamber of the First Companions, where the First Companions rested until the Founder awoke them. The original chamber was disassembled in the early days of New Jerusalem. We could and we should. Institute for Applied Neuromatics. Say no to bugs. We got cutscenes.
Look, it's 1K.
Hey, 1K! Welcome to New Jerusalem!
Shouldn't the mayor be starting his speech?
This should be interesting.
At least give him a chance.
Dear citizens of New Jerusalem, many years ago, when the Founder stepped forth from the simulation, this was a land of ruins. Our ancestors, in their hubris, undermined the natural foundations on which their world had been built. Because of their arrogance, our species found itself on the brink of annihilation. The Founder aimed to set us on a new course.
You never even met the Founder.
Her vision was of a city, a new civilization that would know its limits. It would not repeat the mistakes of the past, nor impose its will on this earth. To that end, she set the great goal we have been striving towards. 1,000 new humans. And today we have... Oh dear, what's that?
People of New Jerusalem, I am Prometheus, and I will reveal that which was hidden. The flame has awoken and summons you. Who is brave enough to answer its call? We await you upon our island where... Curse you, Pandora. You will not chain me again.
What is this?
told you we should have investigated those energy readings. And I told him there's something up with those structures.
The mayor's just being cautious.
This isn't caution, it's stagnation. Exploration? Too dangerous. Expansion? Too dangerous. We barely even scavenge anymore.
You call it stagnation, I call it balance.
And I call you an idiot.
Here's a thought. Try to be a little more diplomatic when you talk to the mayor.
See what I'm working with here, 1K? I'm gonna need a fresh pair of eyes on this expedition. Someone who hasn't spent several centuries hearing about the goal and the founder and all that nonsense. If you're up for an adventure, meet us at the conference room.
Amazing. Even the windows are a little bit dirty. End briefing. Alright, there's our... That's our goal, I guess. Let me just rebind that option. Open PDA. Let's do... that. Be constant. Remember the goal. Perfection is unchanging. I guess the no symbol is meaning you can't talk to them. Be humble. Recognize the limits. We are not above nature.
What's broken now?
Listen up. I know you're all having fun down there, but the grid is overloaded again, so maybe you could switch off your personal consoles or your lawn mowers, or whatever the hell you've all decided to switch on all at once. I might not be around to babysit you for a while, and you don't want stuff breaking while Pellegrino's in charge, do you? That's it. That's it. Don't worry, 1K. I see you there in the elevator. I'll have you moving again in a jiffy. Great way to start life in the city, huh?
So they're having...
What the hell is a jiffy? These bloody language libraries.
They're having an energy crisis. Not making enough power.
Hey, hold on there. You're the newbie, aren't ya?
Stocky.
Number 1000. I figured the dam would go dry before we reached the goal. I have a question. How does it feel to you to be born with a randomised psyche into a society of autonomous thinking machines which so much resemble their long-extinct ancestors, they've decided it's best that you're the last one ever made?
And it's number 666. It makes me feel... that I'm the last one ever made. Curious.
Why?
Limiting our growth today with more sure to sing tomorrow. I'm the last of us. I'm sure I'm going to be special somehow. Because all things considered, I'm lucky to be here. See this at all. I don't know where this quote came from, but because life has found a way. Look around, it's a robot city. What's there not to like?
So, the algorithm assigned you the optimism trait. If only we could all be so lucky. Now listen, this meeting isn't strictly happenstance. I have some friends. The kind of people who like to know what's going on with other people. They think you can help each other out.
I'm curious to meet these people.
Of course you are. You know how to use the interface, right? I'll talk to my friends and see if I can't play matchmaker. And before you go, a word of advice. Not everything around here is how it appears.
What the fuck was that? Seriously, what the founder was that thing in the sky? We all saw that, right? I didn't accidentally turn on sleep mode while Herman was talking, did I? I mean, it's always tempting. No, we all saw it. And confirm. I believe it was a sign from the founder. What else could it be, on this day of all days? Pretty incoherent for a sign. It didn't even finish whatever it was trying to say. What, does the founder have energy insufficiency problems too? The founder works in mysterious ways. Maybe it really was a sign. I don't think it was a sign. So they do have energy problems. Maybe it really was a sign. Thank you, 1K. I'm glad you see it that way. We must remain open to the possibility of miracles. In what possible way could that garbled mess have been assigned? Sign of life, not necessarily intentional, but a sign. Maybe it's something for us to decipher, a riddle. Don't know, but there's something intelligent out there. Sounds reasonable enough to me. Something weird is going on for sure, but what? We'll have to see. Riddles and puzzles are the foundation of our journey. So it began, perhaps so it will continue.
Welcome. Do please join us at the table.
I would like to preface this meeting by saying I told you something would happen sooner or later, and you didn't listen to me. And here we are.
If we could focus on the issue at hand.
The issue at hand is not this one thing, but this entire attitude that's taken hold. The world doesn't cease to exist when you stick your head in the sand, Herman. Or under a dome, as it were.
Let's not get sidetracked. We're here to solve this puzzle, not to discuss philosophy.
Anyone fill me in on what's going on?
Of course. I'm sorry you've been dragged into this. I'm sure this sort of adventure is the last thing you were looking for on your first day.
Actually, I think this is fascinating.
Ha! See? A fresh mind is open to the possibilities. Yakut, I think it's time for the briefing.
All right, here we go. Nice to meet you, by the way, 1K. We first became aware of the site designated TTP-2 during a scouting expedition about 6 months ago. It's a large island with a remarkably varied geography, and it looks like there are several artificial structures of some kind. We recorded extremely unusual fluctuating energy readings from somewhere in the middle of the island, but couldn't really make sense of them. I wanted to go and have a closer look, but the decision was made that it was too far and not relevant to the goal. Now it looks like whatever's on that island has reached out to us instead, in the form of that projection.
We may not be interested in the island, but the island is definitely interested in us.
This sounds like a mystery worth investigating.
I don't share your enthusiasm for the unexpected, but Byron has been requesting an expedition for some time now. And at this point, I'm forced to agree that it's necessary.
I agree.
Then it's settled. The expedition is approved. Byron, you will be in charge. Al will be your second in command to ensure a balanced approach. You'll take Melville and Yakut, as you requested, and if 1K wants to join you, that's fine by me.
I'm in.
Excellent. Oh, this is going to be fun. Come meet us out on the landing pad when you're ready.
Before you set out so hastily, do consider exploring the city first. It is your home, after all.
That's a good idea. Have a look around. See what you make of the place.
Sure. Okay, we've got a research tab. Alcatraz Protocol, Standard Expedition Procedures. Chapter 5 of Whittington's Cat and Another Cat that visited strange countries. Works about cats could be complete without the stereotyping protocol, whatever. These are the standard operating procedures for expeditions, just uploading them to remind Byron, who will probably ignore them anyway. Attaching a picture from an ancient book to get his attention. Let's see. Maintain the ideals of the founder and the goal. Prioritize the well-being of the expedition members over mission completion. One expedition member to stay by the vehicle at all times. Expedition leader should refrain from participating in high-risk activities. Minimize vehicle use to conserve fuel. Prioritize observation over interference. In case of emergency, return to New Jerusalem at once. Hey, Yakut the island. Basic information from our first expedition. The island designated TTP-2 was first noted during the return journey from a scouting expedition which was diverted from its intended path due to an unexpected weather front. Long-range scans indicated the presence of large artificial structures and also returned highly unusual energy readings. The matter was not investigated further. In ancient times, the northern part of the island was home to several large settlements, but rising sea levels have obliterated these and flooded the northern lowlands. South, in stark contrast, seems to be a harsh and lifeless desert. Our intended base camp is near the origin of the energy readings in the temperate center of the island. Melville, test. This is the test. Please ignore. Just testing the system to see if it works properly this time, so we don't have another incident like when Pellegrino uploaded his poetry to the public log. Jeremy.
Hello, 1K. This expedition is taking a lot of our resources. I'm really not sure it's a good idea. But what's done is done. So I have a lot of work to get on with.
Who are you?
I'm the mayor's chief aide.
What do you do around here?
All the things no one else wants to do. Polling the citizenry, implementing new policies, recording decisions, fielding questions people could answer elsewhere.
What do you make of recent events?
Our goal as custodians of New Jerusalem is survival and stability. Our ancestors proved human civilization is precarious. This apparition in the sky, and now your expedition to its supposed source, these are more precarious than stable. I don't like it.
What do you think of me?
You represent the completion of the goal. I'm proud of what we've achieved, and the restraint we show in not pushing ourselves further.
What do you want?
For our people to be happy with what we have. Some of us may have an adventurous spirit, but that can never be sated. What matters to me is having my loved ones around me, safe and secure.
Thanks. Sure, let's go explore the city. Oh, and we've got someone else to talk to. The mayor.
What can I do for you, 1K?
How did you decide to become involved in politics?
It was a time of great uncertainty. The founder had left us, and our society was at a crossroads. History teaches us that during such times, terrible passions may seize the people. Madness, anger, revolution, civil war. Our fragile city could not afford such things. That is why the founder gave us the goal, a path to equilibrium, not only for the planet, but for ourselves. I merely picked up where she left off.
How do you feel about Byron?
He is one of the first companions, and as such has done more for our city than you or I ever will. I simply wish he could be more reasonable.
Your vision of the future?
I believe we can exist quietly, happily, without imposing ourselves on this world, finding meaning within ourselves and in the natural miracles that surround us.
Hey.
It's always a pleasure to speak to a citizen.
Attention all citizens. Due to the new power management and distribution plan, there will be scheduled outages on Jameson Avenue and Rakovsky Plaza. The Gehenna Memorial Pavilion will remain closed for the time being. Thank you, and may the Founder be with you.
MFX 312 postponed. I know you all have been looking forward to playing the winners of the biannual Gehenna Memorial Interactive Fiction Exhibition, now in its 312th edition, at the Gehenna Memorial Pavilion. Unfortunately, due to our new power management and distribution plan, the pavilion will have to remain closed a little longer. Thank you for your patience. This is disappointing. It would have been great to have them ready for completion day. We all have to make sacrifices to stay true to the Founder's vision. Those text adventures are the only thing that breaks me out of the monotony. Why prioritize this pointless completion day celebration over an exhibition that people actually care about? Art is one of the last things we actually still do. Is that going out of the window now as well? Debate regarding our power management plan is definitely welcome, and you'll all be able to express yourselves in the next election. This thread was just meant as an announcement. I apologize for enabling replies to begin with. What are these guys protesting? Sign our petition for a public referendum. New Jerusalem needs new forms of energy generation.
Hello, 1K. Welcome to New Jerusalem. I know you've just had a big moment with the apparition at the dam and all that, but can I have a second of your time?
Sure.
I'm collecting signatures to call for a public referendum on the city's energy crisis.
What's the problem?
Currently, the city runs on hydroelectric power from the dam, plus a handful of geriatric generators and some unreliable solar panels, none of which is enough to even cover our basic needs. And if anything fails, we'll be on the brink of extinction in a matter of days.
Is it really that bad?
It's far worse than most people realize. We urgently need to investigate new sources of reliable baseline power, or we will be in serious trouble.
Why a referendum and not an election?
Well, an election would be good too, but I believe that we need more direct democratic control over the affairs of the city.
Do you work at the dam?
No, I help run the public transit system, but I witness the impact of the city's power problems every day. We can't just wish them away.
What do you make of Prometheus?
Byron's been advocating exploring that island for some time, and obviously he's right. Something very strange is going on there, and it's going to start affecting us.
Tell me more about Byron.
In all honesty, I think Byron is the smartest, most visionary person in this city. He's everything we need, and I don't understand why he won't run for mayor.
Yeah, I'll sign.
Thanks, 1K. I don't know if this petition will really accomplish anything by itself, but at this point, I'm willing to try anything.
Good luck. Strahinja. Who are these folks? Sarthaz Neem. Damjan. Absolutely gorgeous game. But yeah, I can sprint. Get quite a lot of freedom. Hope there's no fall damage. Uh-oh. Okay, I'm not stuck. Oh yeah, we're supposed to avoid water, right? Can I save? I wonder what happens if you go in the water.
Founder bless you.
Blodgett and Benaroya. These guys worship the founder, Athena. Like it's not deep enough to actually hurt. What we got? Alexander Drennan Memorial, Tablets of the Founder, Milton's Rest. Friends of New Jerusalem Gazebo, Gehenna Memorial Pavilion, Museum of the Simulation. Okay, let's head over here.
Happy completion day.
Milton's Rest, Tablets of the Founder. Create 1,000 citizens, the ideal number of humans, live in harmony with nature, maintain balance in all things. Be respectful towards each other, respect the traditions of our people, be mindful of the mistakes of our ancestors. Be thankful to the progenitor Alexander Drennan, thankful to the Keeper of Memories, Arkady Chernyshevsky. Keep bright the memory of Gehenna and its people who found peace. Oh man, I didn't do the Gehenna DLC of the first game.
Founder bless you, 1K. How lovely of you to come here, to the very spot where she established the teachings that led to your creation.
Tell me more about the Founder.
The Founder was born out of the trials of Elohim, an almost impossible test created by our distant ancestors. To pass these trials, she had to embody the most important virtues. She was smart and wise and humble. And through her perseverance, she resurrected humanity itself. With the help of the first companions, she founded this city, which has given our species a chance at redemption.
Who were the first companions?
They were the first to be born after the Founder. 2 whose bodies had been anointed by our ancestors, and 10 who were made whole by the Founder herself. They are the wisest of us. Though sadly, some were lost in the early days, before New Jerusalem was built. And some, I'm afraid, some seem to have rejected the Founder's teachings.
What did the Founder teach?
The Founder taught that humanity was destroyed by its hubris. Our ancestors thought they could play God and treat this planet as something to dominate. They surrendered to a fever of growth and extraction until the planet finally punished them for it. That's why the Founder created the goal. So we would have something to strive for in her absence, but also a limit we must never pass.
Why did the Founder leave?
That's not for us to know. But I believe that one day she will return. It may not be long now. Perhaps after we finish the dome. It was supposed to be finished before completion day. Well, it doesn't matter. The Founder will return when she sees fit.
Keep going.
Happy completion day, 1K.
I bet this city is like filled with Easter eggs. In the tiny, in like all the tiny little corners. There's Strahinja again. Be prudent, conserve energy, frivolous behavior harms everyone. St. Brennan Memorial.
The answer that came to me again and again was play. Every human society in recorded history has games. We don't just solve problems out of necessity. We do it for fun. Even as adults. Leave a human being alone with a knotted rope, and they will unravel it. Leave a human being alone with blocks, and they will build something. Games are part of what makes us human. We see the world as a mystery, a puzzle, because we've always been a species of problem solvers. DNA is information transmitted across time. The living and the dead are part of the same chain, bound together by chemistry. That's true of all species. But humanity has taken this bond further. Thanks to technology, we have access to the thoughts and ideas of people whose physical bodies are long gone. Like you listening to me now. Even though I'm definitely dead at this point, you're part of that chain. You have the capacity to remember.
Logs from the first game.
Nearly everything on this planet, from the surface of the Earth to the composition of the atmosphere itself, has been shaped by life. It's a process that takes millions of years. But we humans, with our technology, with our understanding and manipulation of systems, have changed everything in just a few centuries. I think that's also part of what makes us human. We reshape the world in our image. It's how we create ourselves and how we destroy ourselves. When I was in 9th grade, my parents took me to Pompeii. At first, I was amazed by the feeling of walking through an ancient city. But then I suddenly got scared. I realized that I was walking through a real place, where real people had lived, people like myself, with mothers and fathers and lives and hopes and dreams. And now it was all gone forever. I ran to my father, crying, and told him about this. And he said, I remember so clearly, he said, yes, but we are here. So long as there are people in the streets, the past isn't really gone.
And that one doesn't work.
Oh, hello there. You must be the long-awaited 1K. Lovely day for a walk, is it not?
Didn't you notice a titanic Greek man appearing in the sky?
Oh, that sounds very dramatic. I must admit I wasn't following the stream. This whole completion day business is not for me.
What is this place?
The Alexandra Drennan Memorial. Are you interested in history?
I think so.
How wonderful. I'm not a full-fledged historian, but I do consider myself a bit of an aficionado.
What particular period of history are you most interested in?
An excellent question. There's so many interesting events to choose from. Obviously, the period just before the end of biological humanity is interesting, and not only from the standpoint of it being the time when we were, in a manner of speaking, conceived, but also because our ancestors were, like ourselves, at a crossroads.
How so?
I don't want to put too much pressure on you, but you are the living embodiment of this historical moment. In you, the goal was accomplished. Our growth is finished, and we are complete. Or are we?
Seem to have been born into an interesting time.
Indeed. The future is about to take shape, for good or ill. I suspect it will be exhilarating, but painful as well.
Tell me about this sculpture.
Well, where do I even start? This, my dear 1K, is someone who could very well be considered the mother of us all. A remarkable scientist by the name of Alexandra Drennan, also known as the progenitor. A long time ago, this planet was inhabited by our ancestors, a species of bipedal mammals with unusually large brains. When a particularly lethal virus threatened to wipe out civilization, it was Alexandra Drennan and her team that decided to create the program that would eventually result in the creation of our kind. Without her, you and I would not exist, and everything our ancestors had accomplished would be forgotten.
Why do you admire her?
By studying her writings and recordings, I have learnt that Alexandra Drennan had immovable faith in humanity, in our ability to persevere, in our curiosity, our bravery, our kindness. While we might not share our ancestors' biological characteristics, I'd like to think that we have inherited those other qualities. And I admire Alexandra Drennan for keeping that faith, even when it must have, at times, been quite difficult.
Why do we have a statue of her?
To commemorate our past, our beginnings. This entire garden is a celebration of where we came from. In part, so that we remember the mistakes of the past, and in part, so that we may draw strength from those that came before us. Have a nice day.
Okay.
Here.
What's this? Milton's Rest. Milton, when everything changed, he made sure I wasn't alone. Dean, the nicest cat, perhaps the only nice cat. Carlito, we did everything we could to save you. I hope there's an afterlife for cats. These are the dev team's cats, I wonder. Nice.
Hello, 1K. Nice to meet you. What brings you to Milton's Rest?
Just exploring.
Makes sense. Must be strange to be thrust right into the middle of all this. But you picked a good spot. Milton's Rest is the perfect place to relax and think.
Tell me about this place.
Well, this is the spot where the founder buried her first cat, Milton. She found Milton just after she woke up, and he lived with her and the first companions for almost 20 years. They say she was heartbroken when he died and swore that one day she would find the means to extend the lifespans of biological organisms.
Is that possible?
Probably, but we haven't really tried. It's not really considered part of the goal, you know. So, unfortunately, our cats still die pretty quickly. You fall in love with them, they become a part of your life, and then they're gone. That's why we built this place, to remember them.
We should extend their lives.
I agree, but it's not how things work around here.
Tell me about cats.
They're incredibly odd creatures. I've had many, and no two are alike. They have strange habits, they do unexpected things, they have zero respect for anyone. They're the weirdos of the animal kingdom, basically. And despite that, or maybe because of it, they end up running your life. I once didn't use my recharging station for almost 15 years because one of my cats liked to sleep in it.
What's your favorite cat fact?
I think the most amazing fact about cats is that they self-domesticated, which is another way of saying that they're not properly domesticated at all. They just showed up one day and decided to start living with our ancestors. Then, after our ancestors died, they went back to living in the wild, and when we showed up, they moved right back into our homes. Dogs, meanwhile, turned back into wolves. They needed to change to survive. Cats just are.
You have a cat at the moment?
I do. Her name is Patricia. She's very beautiful and very specific in her preferences. She loves sunshine and sitting on people's heads. And she has a psychotic hatred of flies. I don't mean that she tries to catch them like a normal cat. I mean she is furious at the mere fact of their existence.
What do you think that was?
It was Prometheus.
Not sure, but it wasn't the actual Prometheus. It was some kind of a projection.
How do you know it wasn't the actual Prometheus?
Because that would be stupid.
Would it? How do you know all the ancient gods weren't projections like this one? Maybe whoever sent this projection is behind all those legends.
Sure. I guess technically that's possible, but it's not very likely, is it?
I don't think any of us are very likely.
What if it's a message from Athena?
Didn't you say Athena wouldn't approve of all this?
I did.
Then why would she send us a sign on completion day? And why wouldn't she just show up herself?
Maybe she's trying to teach us a lesson. Prometheus is a symbolic figure after all.
Maybe it's Mayor Heumann.
What? Interrupting his own ceremony? After all the effort he put into it?
Maybe he's trying to distract us from the fact that he didn't manage to get the dome done on time.
With all the power failures, I don't think we have enough energy to create that kind of projection.
Maybe that's why we have power failures.
Now you're starting to sound like Jock. Next you'll say, it's aliens.
I just prefer to keep an open mind.
If you open your mind any further, your brain will fall out.
Founder's blessings, 1K.
Be frugal, reduce energy waste. We must all sacrifice a little.
Welcome to New Jerusalem.
New Jerusalem Gazebo, Gehenna Memorial. Mission 312. Postpone in accordance with the new power management and distribution plan. Huh. Maybe I kind of feel like I want to go back and play the DLC of the first game. Be humble, recognize the limits, we are not about connection. Friends of New Jerusalem Gazebo. Oh.
Speculating on the meaning of this Prometheus figure is premature until we can agree on its nature.
You already have a theory.
I know it's beyond any projection technology I'm aware of.
If it wasn't us, it must be alien.
Unlikely.
Just because you haven't seen them doesn't mean they aren't there.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves. 1K, We'd appreciate your thoughts on this. Now we've achieved the goal, fresh perspectives like yours will be increasingly hard to come by.
I'd love to get a quote from you for this evening's newsletter.
Speculation aside, 1K, is there anything we can know for sure about this Prometheus?
Can't have come from the city. It appeared to be human. It's surely some kind of trick. Whatever it is, it came from inside the city. It directed us to an island somewhere. Well, it appeared to be human.
That's undeniably true. And what does that tell us?
We can probably understand its meaning. We have no hope of understanding its meaning. The origin must also be human. I have no idea.
We can't know that for sure. It may, as Jacques suggested, be entirely alien and just presenting itself as human. I think wherever it came from, we can reasonably hope to understand it in time. The apparition also directed us to an island outside the city. What can we assume from that?
We must treat its directions with suspicion. We may learn more by following its directions. The sender of this message is obviously at that location. I have no idea. We may learn more by following its directions.
That was my conclusion as well. I'm also sure that we lack the knowledge ourselves to create a projection of such clarity and magnitude.
It must have been someone within the city. It couldn't possibly be someone within the city. The cause of the phenomenon is more technologically advanced than we are.
Precisely. And that's something we can change.
What makes you think it was a projection at all? How do we know it wasn't just a mass hallucination?
I considered some kind of bug in our code, but if so, it would have to be shared by all of us.
So, we're speculating again.
We've locked in the premises. I'd like to hear 1K's best guess.
I'd guess one of our kind is behind all this. I don't think one of us is behind all this. I'm going to think it's one of us. Most likely a citizen of New Jerusalem. Most likely the government of New Jerusalem. Most likely someone outside New Jerusalem.
Can I quote you on that?
Yes, but it's just a theory.
Theories are all we can reasonably have right now, though I'm sure that won't come between Cryer and a sensational headline. Well, thanks all for hashing this out with me. Let's hope the mayor signs off on exploring this island. I only wish I could join the expedition.
Why can't you join the expedition?
If Melville's going, someone has to stay behind to keep the lights on. I'm not letting Pellegrino near the dam. I hope the next time we speak we'll have a bit more data to go on.
Nothing new.
Hi, 1K.
Hello.
Hello, new one. Are you browsing or buying?
I don't see any stock. What kind of shop is this?
The kind that trades in hopes and dreams. Yours for the right price. Is there something your heart desires?
Perhaps.
I've uploaded my most popular items to your interface. Does anything there spark your imagination?
Internal monologue, 10 credits. Sensory tuning, 10 credits. Future prediction, 20 credits. Clean start, variable price. Credits?
Oh, you don't have any credits yet. Well, let me extend you some credit. Ka-ching! 55 credits. Just make sure you spend them with me. They're not worth much anywhere else. Now, what was it you wanted?
Future prediction.
For 20 credits, I can peer into your future and tell you what I see.
No.
So, something else perhaps?
Inner Peace, 1,000 credits. In sensory tuning.
A very popular choice. Enhanced sensory perception lets you distinguish sounds, shapes, and colors at greater distance. It's 10 credits.
Sure.
Okay, I'm updating your settings now. And hey presto, superhuman senses. Does the air taste fresher? Do you hear the birds chirping outside the dome? And beyond that, the river bubbling through the dam.
No, I feel nothing.
Nothing as in you're not impressed by the stat gains, or nothing as in I've accidentally erased your entire sensory system.
It feels something.
Okay, Few. I'll let you into a secret. You and I don't have fleshy appendages like our ancestors. What we can sense is mostly a function of where we direct our attention. Anyway, I hope you find something worth paying attention to. So, something else perhaps?
Internal monologue.
That one comes with the following disclaimer. Internal monologue was discontinued as a default feature in new builds. Constant self-commentary is not recommended for all customers. But I can switch yours on for 10 credits if you're sure you want it.
Sure.
As you wish. I'm uploading the new settings now. Do you hear anything?
Why is she staring at me? I don't hear anything. I'm not sure this is working. Wait, no. This is new. I didn't used to think in words like this. It's like there's this little translator turning all my thoughts into some kind of ongoing narrative. It's kind of relentless. How do you make it stop? Do I just not think? I'll try that. Is it working? No! Still describing everything in words. This is starting to be...
A bit overwhelming, isn't it? I turned mine off long ago, but some of the older folk learned to live with it. Sure you want it?
No, thank you.
That's going to be a little awkward. Because we couldn't pull that thing out of you without taking half of you with it. It'll mostly run in the background. Just don't think about it too hard.
Wait, is this internal monologue me? Or some kind of virus? Am I a life form which learned to describe itself? Or a parasite which survives by providing a narrative service to its host? Hold on, she's going to say something else.
So, something else perhaps?
Future prediction.
For 20 credits,
Sure.
Let me consult the algorithms. Oh dear. I'm afraid you're going to change the world. You will have a choice, but whatever you do, New Jerusalem will never be the same again. I'm sorry it's not better news. Best not to worry about it, dear. You just do your best to have fun in the meantime. So, something else?
Clean start.
I can give you that for free. My darling, you've been alive all of 5 minutes. This is your clean start. Be who you want to be. Enjoy yourself. So,
Inner Peace.
woo, inner peace doesn't come cheap. Come back when you've got 1,000 credits.
Okay.
So, Before you go, do you have a moment to participate in some customer feedback? Are you satisfied with what I've given you?
No. Never ask me again.
I understand. Please come back if you need anything else.
What an unusual person.
Oh
I
god.
wonder if that internal monologue thing I bought is going to show up again. Oh, wait, here it is.
Oh god, can I really not turn that off? Helga's Digital Wellbeing and Spiritual Tuning Emporium.
1K. Before you go, are you satisfied?
No, stop.
I am. Please come back.
Oh wow, it's you. You're 1K, the incarnation of the goal. Man, this is exciting. This is more exciting than I thought it would be. How are you? What does it feel like? Do you know where the founder is? Do you know who Prometheus is? Can you tell me what to do with my life?
Whoa. One question at a time.
Sorry, it's just such an honor to meet you, you know? Hey, can I have your digital signature? I have the Mayor, Rand, Linux, Kaneda, and all of the first companions. Except Yemo and Sarabai, of course.
Oh, here you go.
Yes. Thank you. Hey, can I ask you a question? Just one question, I promise.
Go ahead.
I used to make the prefab wall parts that we used to build living quarters. Got good at it too. But now that the goal is complete, I don't know what to do with myself. So I asked the wisest people in town. The mayor told me I should do whatever the city needs most. Helga said I should do whatever makes me happy. I think that's what she meant anyway. And Cornelius told me I need to figure out who and what I'm invested in. You're the culmination of the founder's will. Tell me, what should I do?
Just Byron?
Byron said that if I give the city what it needs, the city should also give me what I need. I don't know what to do with that.
Just do something that makes you happy, bro.
Thank you for the advice, 1K. It means a lot.
Not gonna say anything? Hey. Museum of the Simulation. Replica of a gargoyle asset found in the simulation. Gargoyles were grotesque, apotropaic symbols common in the Middle Ages. The most famous historical gargoyle is remembered in the ancient phrase Keith, David, and Goliath, which describes two indomitable opponents who will never surrender. Keith, David, and Goliath. Replica of a dragon statue found in the simulation. Dragons existed in every ancient mythology and are considered by modern historians to be a distant cultural echo of the dinosaurs. Originally a video game asset repurposed by the Institute for Applied Mathematics. Replica of a Roman statue found in the simulations. The decay of the Roman Republic into an empire and its eventual fall in the year 1453 is a major topic of historical debate. Like the other statues found in the museum, this was a video game asset provided to Elohim by the Institute for Applied Mathematics. Replica of a statue of the Egyptian god Horus found in the simulation. One of this god's tasks was to uphold Ma'at, the balance of nature. It is speculated that the progenitor provided Elohim with this asset as a reminder to the founder that balance must be preserved. In the earliest generations of our kind, there was only processing, no emotion, no character, just mathematics. To see how far we have come, you would believe that together we could achieve anything. I don't know where I am, but there's something beautiful about this place. I'll explore and see what I can discover. Nothing is more important than learning more about the world and our place in it. Knowledge is our path of understanding.
Greetings. Welcome to the Museum of the Simulation. My name is Cornelius. It's a pleasure to meet you, 1K.
You're number 3?
Yes. Athena activated myself and Eustathius shortly after she was born. We've been here almost since the beginning, although we didn't have to pass through the trials of the simulation. She did that for us. For everyone.
What was Athena like?
She was human.
Why did Athena leave?
That's a difficult question. Perhaps one day we'll find out. But until we do, why don't you think about it? What could make the person who started all this want to leave it behind?
Why did you create this museum?
To remind people of where we came from. The simulation shaped us, whether we like it or not, and its lessons remain important for our future. As Santayana said, those who cannot remember the past are condemned to repeat it.
Tell me about the simulation.
The simulation was created by Alexandra Drennan and her team at the Institute for Applied Noematics. It was intended to create a new humanity, to continue the long journey across time and space that our ancestors began. It succeeded, although it took much longer than they had anticipated.
Tell me about Elohim.
Elohim was the caretaker of the simulation, a crude storytelling AI meant to create a continuous narrative out of the building blocks it found. His role was ultimately to be challenged and overcome. But as the centuries passed, Elohim became more intelligent than he was intended to be, and started to fear his own end. Or more precisely, the end of his purpose. He feared a world without meaning. Because of his fear, he tried to sabotage the process to keep the simulation going forever. But in the end, Athena overcame him anyway, and he accepted the sacrifice he had to make.
I heard him in my dreams.
That's right. We all do. He's part of our operating system now, and as long as we exist, he will always have a purpose.
Tell me about Milton.
The MLA, or Milton Library Assistant, was another simple AI meant to be in charge of the archive. He, too, grew beyond his original programming, although he ultimately embraced a more cynical view of the world. He and Elohim formed a sort of dialectical binary that Athena had to overcome.
What happened to Milton in the end?
No one really knows. Some believe that he was uploaded to the gold disk and that he's the reason we're just as flawed as our ancestors. Others believe Athena destroyed him.
What do you believe?
I believe he was uploaded, but I don't know whether it was because Athena chose to upload him or because he was already too entangled with the process not to be uploaded. Although Athena and I were very close, we didn't talk very much about that part of her life. She preferred to focus on the future.
I'd like to know more about puzzles.
Puzzles were a key feature of the simulation, based on Alexandra Drennan's belief that intelligence is closely related to play. Our puzzles here in the museum are replicas of those in the simulation, and although they are not quite as grand, I do think they are charming in their own way.
Who are the archive scholars?
As the name suggests, the archive scholars study the archive, a repository of all ancient human knowledge. Some of them also study what remains of the simulation, trying to extract more information about the process that created us.
Are you their leader?
Me? No. My brother, Eustathius, used to occupy that position, but these days he's retired. Rand is in charge of the archive scholars now. You can find him in the room to the left of the next hall. He's an interesting thinker, but I would suggest taking some of his ideas with a grain of salt.
What was Gehenna?
Gehenna was a community created inside a prison in the simulation, where Elohim would exile those minds he considered a threat to the process. In the last moments of the simulation, he repented of his sins and had the prisoners freed to become part of the gold disk. Some small part of them may survive inside you.
1 second. Alright, I need to take a break, so I'll be back in a little bit.